All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to put our brains through a different kind of workout. We're going to explore some of philosophy's most mind-bending thought experiments. Now, these aren't riddles with a neat little answer at the end. They're designed to stretch our thinking and really challenge the things we just assume are true.
So here's the deal. There are no right or wrong answers here. The only thing you need is a little curiosity. For the next few minutes, let's just agree to hit pause on what we think we know for sure and just play with some wild ideas that might bend our whole concept of reality. Think of this as a trip to a mental gym. We're going to start with a pretty light warm-up. Test our moral reflexes with some questions that feel familiar. Then, we'll move on to some heavier weights, ideas about who we really are. And for the grand finale, we're going to tackle the really heavy stuff, questioning reality itself. You ready? Let's do it. Okay, first up, let's test that moral compass. We all have that gut feeling, right? That sense of what's right and what's wrong. But let's put those instincts under a little pressure with a couple of puzzles that are way more complicated than they first appear. Okay, picture this. Someone hands you a cloak, and poof, you are completely invisible. And I mean truly invisible. No cameras, no thermal imaging, nothing can spot you. You have total freedom. You can go anywhere, do anything, and there is a 0% chance you will ever get caught. So here's the real question. What would you actually do? This idea goes way back to Plato, and it's a powerful one. It asks, are we good people because it's just the right thing to be? Or are we good because we're afraid of getting in trouble? Does our morality depend on other people watching, or is it about who you are when you're completely, totally alone? All right, let's shift gears to something that's, well, honestly, it's kind of disturbing. It's an idea called moral luck. We like to think we judge people on their choices and their character, but what if the praise and blame we hand out has way more to do with pure, dumb luck than we're comfortable with? So check this out. You have two surgeons. Both are equally brilliant, equally careful. They're performing the exact same high-risk operation. For the first surgeon, everything goes perfectly. The patient makes a full recovery. Hero. For the second surgeon, the patient dies from a 1 in a million complication that was impossible to detect. Now, their actions, their skill, their intentions, they were identical, but one is celebrated and the other is facing lawsuits and a career in ruins. It just forces you to ask, right? When you look back on your own life, the good things that happened, the close calls that almost went bad, how much of the credit or blame you got was actually earned, and how much of it was just the universe rolling the dice for you? Okay, so we've poked at our actions. Now let's get a little more personal. Time for an even tougher workout, as we turn the spotlight inwards and ask some fundamental questions about what it even means to be you. So, I want you to meet Mary. Mary is a genius neuroscientist. She knows everything there is to know about color vision. I mean, she knows the exact wavelength of every color, how the cones and rods in your eye work, how your brain processes those signals. She knows every single physical fact. But here's the twist. Mary has lived her entire life in a purely black and white room. She has never, not once, actually seen color. So one day, she walks outside and sees a red rose for the very first time. Here's the question. Does she learn something new? Logically, if she already knew all the physical data, the answer should be no. But our gut screams, of course she does. She learns what it's like to see red. And this whole puzzle challenges the idea that everything can be boiled down to physical facts. It suggests that there's something about our personal experience, our consciousness, that goes beyond just data. Now, let's try a scenario that might hit a little closer to home. You wake up, you walk downstairs, and you see yourself standing in the living room. An absolutely perfect copy. This clone has all your memories, right up to this very morning. It has your personality, your feelings for your family, your deepest secrets. From its point of view, it is you. So, what happens now? If you kill this clone, what do you even call that? Is it murder, since it's a thinking, feeling being identical to you? Or is it kind of like suicide? Or maybe it's just deleting a file. Now flip it. What if the clone kills you and takes over your life? Would anyone even notice? It forces us to ask what actually makes you, you. Is it your physical body? Is it your collection of memories? Or that continuous feeling of being yourself? All right, for our final and toughest set, we are zooming all the way out. We're going to question the very foundations of the world we experience every day, the stuff we just take for granted without a second thought. This next idea is the bedrock of almost everything we believe. It's called induction. It's simply the assumption that the future will behave like the past.
It's why we trust gravity will keep us on the ground and why we're pretty sure the sun is going to rise tomorrow. We just expect patterns to continue. But here's the problem. Why do we believe the future will resemble the past? Our only reason is because in the past it always has. You see the issue? We're using the past to prove the past. It's a completely circular argument. There's actually no logical guarantee that the laws of physics will still be working in 5 minutes. It's not a certainty. It's just a habit of mind, a leap of faith we all take every single second. And hey, as long as we're on a roll questioning things, let's take on time itself. We experience it like a river, right? The past is gone, the future hasn't arrived, but what if that entire feeling is just an illusion created by our consciousness? This brings us to a mind-bending theory called eternalism. It suggests that time is a dimension, just like length, width, and height. All moments, the dinosaurs, this exact moment right now, and whatever happens 100 years from now, all exist simultaneously in a kind of 4-dimensional block. They're all equally real. We just happen to be perceiving this one particular slice of it right now. So at the end of the day, these thought experiments don't really come with an answer key. That's not what they're for. Their whole purpose is to make us think, to shake up our perspectives, and to look at ourselves and the world in a new light. They're a workout for our curiosity. So the only question that really matters is, what are you going to ask next?